Kris, any update on Zach Hyman?
I always wait, get the final after he sees the doctor and review. So I'll just wait till tomorrow and give you the update then.
Left side standing, Jason.
Kris, the first period maybe didn't go the way you wanted exactly. Stuart Skinner played well, but really in the second and third, you didn't give up a lot of danger. In the third period, protecting a one-goal lead, you attack. Sometimes teams will fall back even though the coach never tells them to. What'd you make of your team's approach in the third and how it was kind of the best defense is a good offense?
Yeah, in the first period, we were the second best team. In the first period, we were a little bit slow. They had their chances. They had many chances. We were just hanging on, and the chances we gave up, Stu made many saves, and we could have been down several goals after the first period. And then after that, I thought we played a really good game, and I don't know how many chances we gave up in the second and the third, but I didn't feel like it was very much besides the penalty kill. They had a lot on the power play in the second period, but 5-on-5 in the second and third, I thought we checked, and that mostly is just because we were skating much better. So, and we were playing shorthanded, so we were a lot of guys stepped up and elevated their game.
Right side, third row, Slav.
Kris, sorry, over here. You guys went 2 for 2 to start the game on the power play. Anything that you saw from your power play that maybe you like more than some of the other games?
They're very prideful. They have been the best power play for the last 5 or 6 years. And when things haven't gone well, they take ownership and they step up and want it to make a difference. And so far, early in this series, the power play hasn't been much of a factor, which is uncommon. I think they were all 5 of those guys were dialed in and wanting to make a difference. And some of the plays they made, obviously, I thought Ryan made 2 nice passes, but I thought everyone was dialed in, and they made a difference with 2 goals tonight.
Left side, fourth row, Josh.
Kris, you sort of touched on it, but just playing shorthand without Zach for 50 minutes, what'd you make of the forward group sort of together, and what does Zach mean to this group if he's out for a while?
Yeah, I thought everyone stepped up. Going into the third period, I had the luxury of pretty much double shifting Leon. Leon had only played 11 and a half minutes after those 2 periods, and the conversation with him was get prepared to play a lot of minutes and getting double shifted here. And the Puck Colson, Janmark, Arvidsson line, they picked up where they left off earlier in the playoff run. Just everyone, Kapanen, Frederick, who's just joining our team and getting some games under his belt and starting to get some more ice time. He's starting to contribute. So, I go through the lineup, and I liked how everyone just played a little bit better. And also the defense did a pretty good job moving the pucks out, so we didn't have to be in the defensive zone as much. So, I liked our team's effort.
Stay in that same row, Derek.
Hey, Kris, is Ryan Nugent-Hopkins still your favorite player, and can you give us a thought on just the way he's playing right now in this series?
Some days he is. This series, maybe he is, the way he's playing. He's really elevated his game, and the plays that he made on the power play tonight, and, I think multiple point games throughout the series. Ryan's very valuable to our team, whether it's on the power play, the penalty kill, 5-on-5. And, I think through the regular season, not that he was ever bad, but, we didn't play up to his expectations. But when we needed him most through these playoffs, he's really played well, and, we need him to continue that.
Back row on the left.
Yeah, this is from Cam. You guys were relentless on the puck in the Dallas Stars end all night long. Just a comment on your team's forecheck tonight.
Once we found our legs, I thought in the first period we were slow, and they were winning the puck battles, and they were winning the races, and it just seemed like we were always a step behind. And as we hit the second period, especially, a big turning point for me, I thought we really elevated our game was after the second power play goal. That's when I really thought we felt comfortable with the lead. But, we just we got to continue playing like that, and that's when we're playing our best. Is when we've got all four lines skating like that, and not just relying on a couple guys to make some big plays.
Left side standing in the back, Corey.
Kris, Stu talked about the momentum being so key in the playoffs. How much does a big penalty kill in a big spot lead to that? Did you like what you've seen out of the penalty kill kind of since game one and kind of winning that special teams battle tonight?
Yeah, I think collectively the group has done a much better job, and we're not going to completely shut them down. We can't. They've got a really good power play. They've got good players on both their units, for that matter. And I think, part of it, I think everyone's done a pretty good job on it, but also Stu's made some really big saves. And if he doesn't make those saves, we're probably talking about something else. But, overall, we need to continue doing. Their power play is a big factor in them winning their first two rounds. Obviously, it was a big factor in them winning game one. We have to do a good job on limiting their opportunities, but also staying out of the box.
Left side front row, Bob.
Kris, in games 3 and games 4, you had the lead after 2. They were chasing. Usually we see score effects, lots of shots. They're a real good team. You limited them to 4 shots and 4 shots in back-to-back games. Is that part of just the maturation and the professionalism that your group has right now?
You guys ask us about our checking and our defensive play all the time, and these guys can defend. They are good at it, and good when it matters most in the third period, holding the lead. And a lot of guys. There are a lot of older guys who have experience, a lot of playoff games. They know what it takes to win hockey games, and you just see the little things like winning battles on the wall, getting the pucks over the blue line, and getting them deep, and just all those things. I don't know how many times we fronted pucks too. So, we need that commitment throughout.
2 more in that same row, Mark.
You just listed off a lot of the elements of defending. The bottom line here is you've won 3 games in a row. You've given up 2 goals. As a coach, I know that's how you guys draw it up. That must be satisfying to have a team that's playing the most important time of the year, giving up less than a goal a game here.
Well, it's good, but it's obviously a lot on Stu Skinner. He's really stepped up and played well. Tonight overall, the first period, I don't think we were sharp. Second and third, I thought we defended much better. But we're getting a lot of saves out of Stu, which eliminates a lot of, when goalie makes big saves, you often forget about what happened for that scoring chance. And there was some mistakes, and there always will be mistakes. But, when your goalie's playing on top of his game the way he's right now, it just alleviates your memory on any mistakes that had happened.
Last one, right side back row.
Kasperi Kapanen, what does he bring from your perspective to this team? What does he mean?
Caps is a really good all-around player. Been very happy with, since throughout the regular season, I've enjoyed having him, and think his speed is a big factor. But I think he's really taken off when he was inserted back in the lineup right before or right during the Vegas series. And at the time, we just come off a game that I think we're a little bit flat, and we had a guy that we have a lot of confidence in. We think he's a good hockey player. He can play a shutdown role. He can play more of an offensive role, but he can also play a physical role. And in that series, we wanted to have a little boost to our lineup, having a little more speed and physicality. And boy, when he came in that first period against Vegas, he was all over the place, just running guys, breaking up plays. His presence was certainly felt. But also throughout this playoffs, his defensive play has been spot on. Very few mistakes, getting in on the forward check, scoring a huge goal to finish in the Vegas series. And then tonight, obviously I have the confidence of putting him out there with the goalie pulled. And, you see his skating ability there, being able to separate himself and take off and win that race for that puck.